Welcome, Board Game News. Thought I'd be doing a little bit of different lead story this week, but nothing up this sleeve, nothing up this sleeve. However, something up this sleeve. Yes, that's right. That's Nemesis right there, because Awaken Realms just announced their yearly video of hype. What do you need to know for the rest of the year? And there were some big properties on there, right? Like storytelling RPG diet. No, I'm just kidding. That was the fourth thing. But Nemesis numero tres. Retaliation. Now, that's the big one. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. also. And then a dragon-based dueling 1 to 2 player game with a story element? Okay. You've got me peaked, Chris. Dive in. Buckle up. Let's go. Now, personally speaking here, I hope Nemesis goes all Fast and the Furious, right? We get Nemesis 4, we get Nemesis 5, we get Nemesis 6, 7, and 8, and they just get crazier and more apocalyptic and more just... I'm just going here, spitballing. But Nemesis Retaliation, right? The crazy thing about this is less than 24 hours into this, they've already got 11,000 followers on the Gamefound page. If you're not familiar, if you haven't seen the summary, if you haven't seen the description yet... Awaken Realms leads the board game industry in massively awesome looking art for all of their games, and so that's always something cool. The look is just freaking fantastic. Whoever does the artwork for them, whoever does the design of the miniatures, they need a pay raise. But we're talking about Retaliation, right? This time, this is the difference. You are taking on the role of not the crew, not the captaincy, but you're taking on the role of Marines. And you have strict orders and the most advanced tools necessary to wipe them out. Twists? Traitors? Yes, we're still not going to get rid of that. That's going to be the thing, right? What is going to be the twist on the quote-unquote thrilling gameplay that they're promising? 1 to 5 players. The biggest thing I want to see is streamlined gameplay, right? Nemesis 1, Nemesis 2. There's a lot of just finickiness, a lot of fiddliness, a lot of other F words that end in Italiness. Streamline it. Smooth it out. Give it the old Cthulhu Death May Die rub, right? That's why Cthulhu Death May Die is so freaking fantastic. It's because it's streamlined. It takes all of the good stuff, gets rid of a lot of the minutia, and boom, there you go. Q4 2023. That's all we know. That's all we know. That's number 1 here. There's nothing else on the board game page. I won't even bother or waste your time with it right now. I'll throw the link down below, though, for you in the description so you can check it out if you want to yourself and follow early, because as with all the Gamefound pages, which, you know what, I really freaking like this, getting something a little extra, even if it's a discount on shipping from following early. So that can't be said enough. But point number 2, game number 2, Liege Stradamus number 2. PC games coming to the freaking tabletop. S.T.A.L.K.E.R, S.T.A.L.K.E.R, the board game. PC first-person shooter franchise now being brought to your tabletop, right? Right. This one also has 9,300 people following. This is a big IP. But it's very well known. Sort of post-apocalyptic, Chernobyl-esque vibe. And just like the other one, the preempt on following early gets you a $9 Monster Hunter character pack for free. My favorite price. So that's gonna be what they're offering right now. And I'm pulling up this page for you because this one has a little bit more graphical design on it and a little bit more background in case you're not as Stalker friendly, right? Cooperative zone crawling, 1 to 4 players. You get 1 character of your own. And you know what? You got to do scenarios. You got to make it through, fight and survive. Again, these are fantastic looking miniatures. Like, again, I give them kudos for that side of things. Artifacts, upgrades, fight monsters, right? This is what we want. And this is late Q2. That's, June, in case you weren't doing the math there. And again, in case you're unfamiliar with what this background is, essentially what's happened in a Chernobyl-esque zone over in Ukraine, a second event happened in like 2006 or so. And so then because of the physical, chemical, and biological stuff that happened around the area, a lot of bad stuff like these guys came out, and you're a stalker sort of patrolling and dealing with those areas. And they say in the Board Game Geek description, if you go over to the Board Game Geek page, that they're going to be scenario-based individual boxes. So it's more like, haha, this thing, because, I mean, you've got your setup, you know, sort of organized that way. Again, streamline it, baby. It's not a bad thing to be imitating or copying other really successful designs out there. You obviously don't want to completely copy it. You know, you got the chat GPT for that nowadays, but you want to make it so that people recognize it, people like it. And you know what? It's not bad to piggyback on success. It's not. Wish I could do that on this channel. Ha ha! Self-zing! Haha, that's all I got. Okay, the other one, we're going to pull up here a second. We're just going to go straight over this page. This is Dragon Eclipse. Dragon Eclipse, mythical beasts, ancient dragons, 1 to 2 players. That's probably the most intriguing thing, that this is only 1 to 2 players. What terrifies me, though, is I kind of want this to be a dueling exploration head-to-head game. And my fear is that this is going to be sort of a combination of like Lands of Galzir or the Pokemon Robomon game, only with like mythical beasts. And I don't need other big narrative games now. I want something more like the S.T.A.L.K.E.R, more like the Cthulhu Death May Die, more like a combination of Android Netrunner meets, I don't know, upgradable Revive. You know, unlock some content, gather more stuff, give me a loose based frame, but don't make it too overhead wise, make it more gameplay content wise. There's only so many narrative games we can have. Again, clearly the least popular of the three, right? Only 7,800 people in the first 24 hours. So they give you a little bit of what you're going to be doing, and it says story driven. So, you know, is this more of their Spire's End, if you will? But this is going to be deck building. Hopefully it's not like the deck building of Etherfields, though, and it's more like a little bit of traditional deck building. You don't need to go extreme differences, you know, to take a mechanic that people are used to make it your own. I like this, unlocking new cards for your companions. I just worry that it's more Seventh Continent as well. Like, Seventh Continent's a great solo game. I don't really want to play Seventh Continent with 2 people or 3 people or 4 people. You don't have to worry about this one being 3 or 4, obviously. But here you go. This description here with Arena, it reminds me more of Hoplomachus. That is the vibe I think you should go for if you're going to go for this. Hoplomachus with unlocks. Hoplomachus doesn't need, from Chip Theory, doesn't need a huge narrative, right? You get the framework, you go for it. Too many bones. Don't need a huge narrative. You got the framework. It slaps without having the rest. That's going to be the test, right? Show off your collection. What are you going to be collecting? How are you going to be collecting? No details. This one probably, there you go, late quarter 3. So quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. This one's going to be probably a better test of my willpower than the other 2. S.T.A.L.K.E.R, I mean, S.T.A.L.K.E.R is going to be a hard one for me not to pass on. Because if it's anything like this, I mean, right? So there you go. I mean, the 4th one is the dice, and we'll, you know, go over here really quickly here to the dice page, but story dice for RPGs, if you want to do that. But this is a board game channel, so check that one out as well if you want that side of things. On to the next news. Now, this one, again, came out of nowhere. Collaboration by some guys I really appreciate over from Penny Arcade. Also, some other guys I really appreciate from Level 99 Games. Speaking of that, side note, Sakura Arms review will be coming out in the near future and hopefully in the next month. You guys, just so you know, I love it. Anyway, so they just put out another promo expansion for one of my favorite games. It's not my favorite, but is it in the top 5? It is. Bullet is getting a new expansion here. And this is a new promo card that is going to be a playable character, but also a boss. Her name is Anne-Claire. They collaborated with the Penny Arcade folks. And guess what? This is the other best part that I have to talk about here. Again, the link is going to be down below, and you're going to know why this link is so important, is because what they're doing here is they are donating all of the proceeds. The only thing you're paying level 99 for is the shipping costs. Because when you go over the page here, you'll see that you get to choose one of 3 different mental health charities to contribute to at the cost of your promo for $12.99. So if you're like me, then you get the regular lowest level shipping. It costs you about $21. You know, that's 12 or 13 bucks. Very well spent. Big supporter of the mental health thing. You know, I cannot understate that enough. Let me show you the page real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Here you go. Again, I'll throw the link down below. $12.99. You can pay for it in 4 easy installments, but it's not over $50, thankfully, so you won't have to do that. But you have the National Alliance on Mental Health, To Write Love on Our Arms, and Mental Health America. Pick one, grab your promo here, blow up the picture there for a second, and I don't even care what it does. I mean, I'm a bullet lover. Patterns are cool. I don't even care. But all the support, all this profit goes towards supporting mental health. So you get to select a charity of your choice and do it. So if you are watching this channel, go do this if you like bullet. Please tell them I sent you as well. We got to show them the love for doing something like this, because this is something our industry needs to do more of. The other big thing that I would love to do someday, and I would love to do one of these years, is Child's Play and raise a ton of money for that. If you think that's something I should do, let me know in the comment section down below. We can raise money on this channel, make it a big thing. There's a children's hospital right in my town. I would love to go over there with, like, you know, dozens of board games and be like, here you go. Or dozens of dollars and here you go. So if any publishers out there want to send me stuff to have me send it to the, I need to do that. Again, email me. My email is down below. But this is the important stuff when you're talking about it in general. So I cannot hype this enough. I'm sorry if you don't like that, but it's the truth. It is what it is. Speaking, though, of video game-based IPs coming to the board game table, we have the recently also announced Apex Legends is also coming out, the board game. Pick your legend, get your squad together, and go in this competitive, tactical, team miniature-based game. I mean, this is, and I would have to argue that if they aren't looking over their shoulder at something like Guards of Atlantis 2 as how to base your game on, how to do your mechanics, they should be. I mean, this is from Glass Cannon Unplugged, and they are, you know, Frostpunk. Now they're doing this. This is going to be not insignificant as well, as speaking of huge IPs that have potential high crossover. On the crowdfunding page for the Kickstarter sign up, only has 5,300 people following it, which it seems like an insanely low amount. But, you know, we'll see where it goes, because it hasn't really gotten the hype yet either, because it's not launching until May 17. So we are literally 2.5 months out at this point, and has a lot of time to go. Activating your team player by player, reacting, interacting, going through, saving your teammates, attacking your enemies, uniquely activating the asymmetric abilities of your legends. That's what you're going to be doing. Now, they say on the board game description, though, that they're going to be doing Kings Canyon map. And that would be my big question, right? Like, with a game like this, I really want to see more than one map. I don't need like 6, but 2 or 3 would be ideal. A double-sided board was almost a must in something like this to give it just a little bit more variety. I could see it getting a little samey, unless you're going to do like, you know, top-down terrain that you can place on it and modify it that way too. But that's going to be the question. How popular is this? How, you know, streamlined is this going to be? How much depth is it going to have? Is it going to be comparable to the PC game? Am I going to want to play this over other things like Guards of Atlantis 2? Speaking of that, the hot hit, the hot hand, it's coming back to Gamefound, in case you weren't aware, from Wolf Designs. 55 days for me filming this. I don't remember what that is exactly. You know, sometime April, I think. And, you know, that's what you're going to be getting. 5,000 people following it, and they're going to be doing a little bit of new stuff. It's mostly a reprint, they say down here, but they go through a couple of the character packs that are going to be the new ones. The problem with this game, and that's why Apex Legends might be slightly better fit right now, or Battle for Baturnia, plug right there for Stone Circle games, lower player counts. You really almost ideally need a 4-player count for this game. That's actually a really good price. Huh. You should think about getting this if you have any interest. But where we're going to go here for a second is the updates, because they talk about in the latest update what's new. That's some awesome artwork. You know, they got some Awaken Realms vibes going on there. Stretch goals, unlocks, inserts. They're going to have a normal size box as well. That's the smaller one I think I just showed you pledge-wise, because there was a big box that contained everything that I have sitting over my floor behind the camera. But this is going to be a little bit what they're doing elsewise. A 2-lane map, a new map here, 4 maps already. And they're going to replace a little bit here as well. And then they're going to have new hero packs. New hero packs. Ooh, 2 brand new ones. And all you have to do is go over to the Discord, and you can try them out apparently too. So that's pretty awesome. And if you're interested in getting this one, don't pay the secondary scalping prices right now and wait a little bit, even though you may not actually get your copy until 2024, but that's a whole nother issue. You have enough games you can play in the meantime, but, you know, save the money at the same time. We're going to go over and talk about Unmatched for a second. Restoration Games' core title, you know, line of things, right? Two developments that you need to know about. One is that they're cycling stuff in and out of the vault, sort of like Disney did with their movies, right, for a while. The thing that's going in the vault, apparently, is Cobble and Fog. So if you don't have a copy of Cobble and Fog and you are an Unmatched junkie, you should probably think about getting one before they start to become more scarce, a la Deadpool. It's the truth, or Bruce Lee for that matter. The other thing that astute followers found is there was something titled Unmatched Adventures, which makes you think more along the lines of what? What is Unmatched similar to in a sense? Dice Throne. What does Dice Throne have? Dice Throne has Dice Throne Adventures, right? So now Unmatched Adventures makes you think a cooperative battling against bosses, AIs, or campaigns utilizing those characters spread throughout whatever IP you want. Genie, Houdini, Marvel, or, you know, Jurassic Park, all in one. Can you imagine that? You got like Malcolm on a team with Deadpool, Bruce Lee, and Fog. Anyway, that's what's going to be interesting. And with something like that, I would assume you would do crowdfunding, because they did like the collection storage, the deluxe collection storage over on Gamefound last year. And so I would imagine you would do something similar from that aspect, knowing that it's going to be a little larger. The price point's probably going to be a little higher, just like the deluxe storage options. And so will we see any more news about that in the near future? Maybe. The other big news from the Hotness, in case you missed it. This is one of those things that's always been talked about, right? Like Themon's copy of Ethnos. Ethnos has been long derided of having one of the worst aesthetic value productions for a game that is relatively well thought of as an area control set collection style of game. Now we are getting a reskin, reprint, redone version of it. And that's the Archeos Society. And that's why that's been on the Hotness on the little sidebar of your Board Game Geek listing now for about the past week. Because that's what it is, in case you didn't click on it. Now, in this one, you're doing archaeological. I screwed that one up in the first 2 takes. Expeditions to quickly progress and slowly assemble what you need. 2 to 6 players, a little bit of push your luck as well, a little bit of market. The only question is going to be, what's actually different about it besides the aesthetic value? Now, I didn't read all of the 5-page AMA that Space Cowboys, who's publishing it, has done over on the Board Game Geek forums for this, but basically think Indiana Jones style aesthetic, and that's sort of what you can imagine and see from that aspect. Again, I don't see a whole lot of details when I skim through it about what was actually going to be different. I'm assuming they're going to have a twist or two of their own, but it appears to be also going to retail with sort of a semi-loosely June release if things go well. So if you were one of those people clamoring for it, or if you were one of those people that was always trying to get the elusive fairy promo deck, well, you know, hopefully, like Huang, which we'll talk about in a second, you can get the additional with what they're offering as well at the new copy retail edition. Well, we'll see. Huang, speaking of that, that's also on the Hotness right now. The Yellow and Yangtze remake. Very interesting campaign. This might be the first time I buy a game that I already have intentionally. I've only actually not done that at all. So this would be the very first time for that. I know some people like forget they own a game. Like that doesn't happen to me, believe me. So that's something that has really been intriguing to me, because what they're doing over here as we pull up the page, and as a side note here, just a brief interlude, I know Awaken Realms, like you just did this today and you're launching this stuff, but at the same time, to put these above your active projects, you know, it still, I will say every time, leaves a bad taste in my mouth when you've got all the active stuff getting shunted down here and the preview stuff, you know, not. And if I was one of these small publishers, I'd be a little irritated as well, right? Like, you know, like, come on, man. You're going to get the attention on these pages regardless of where they are. So throw them down a little bit early, throw them down a little bit lower, make yourself a little bit more money and put these at the top. Huang. Okay, let's go. Huang's funded. That's not why we're talking about it. It's only a 9-day campaign. That's not why we're talking about it. Why we're talking about it is what's going on with these pledges. Deluxe pledge, plastic. Standard Pledge, awesome, awesome, awesome looking standees. They say the standees are actually going to be exclusive here, but really what we're talking about here is this awesome looking neoprene playmat, because what this neoprene playmat makes me wonder, and this is the question I need to ask in the comment section, is it compatible with Yellow and Yangtze? Because if it is, I'm tempted just to get the expansion, which I'm free following for and got the Royal Palace one already, picking up the playmat on addition and having an awesome neoprene playmat without picking up the rest of it. And that's kind of cool because I don't need the extra add-on expansion for like the 5-player thing, right? Like this is a game that goes long enough with 3 and 4 players who know what they're doing. And so I don't need the other. And that's just kind of cool. Cardboard tokens I can do without. The wooden leader set, they herd people and they say, okay, you will get the 5 sets of leaders as wooden tokens. This isn't a final representation, but that's what it may look like. The question though is, if you get one of these expansions, are they going to make this compatible? Is this compatible with the base game? The other thing I do not see anywhere on the actual physical page yet is what the Royal Palace actually does. Its own rule set, but nowhere explained individually yet. Soon, hopefully. So that's why I'm excited about Huang, right? Like, I think Yellow and Yangtze is like an all-time game. And it's really funny because some of the reviews on there were like, oh, Huang! It's like, well, guys, this is just Yellow and Yangtze. You just never played Yellow and Yangtze. I love it, though, because people are actually getting to experience how great of a game it actually is. And I stand by that. Lastly, here on the other news, before we go over to the brief hotness here, Shadow Tactics, the board game. Do you remember that? Awesome IP video game-based situation. Did a second crowdfunding campaign when the first one wasn't fulfilled, looking kind of sketchy. Yeah, total raised about 140,000 euros. It's going nowhere. It's failing. It's utterly a mess. There's designer issues about, you know, who's got access to what and who's working on what. And there's one guy trying to do it, give updates, and it's just a freaking mess. I remember covering this the first time it came around, and I said, oh, that's interesting. I remember covering the second time one here, and I said, oh boy, that sounds like a red flag. So if you go over to the latest update here, this is a January update. Unfortunately, literally nothing has happened since the last update. No roadmap because there's 1 month of work in the past 12 months. Why is there no progress? The friendship between the designer and whoever else has basically fallen through. The owner, he's 50%, and so you can't really fire him. And they have a full-time job as well, so they can't do it. They have no money to hire anybody, and they're not really shutting down. So unless they get an angel backer to do this, the risk of crowdfunding at the same time, folks. Take it for what you will, but hoo boy. Now let's just do a couple quick hits. What else is on the hotness? Earth is on the hotness from Inside Up Games. Their next game is Terminus. It's going to be coming to crowdfunding and Kickstarter in the next couple months, next month or two, I think. But Earth is on the hotness. It's getting all the clicks. It's at the top of the hotness because the board tower, because the dice tower gave it glowing, absolutely glowing 9s and 9.5s and 10s out of 10s in their latest Four Corners review, I think. And so that's why that's there. Scarface 1920 is also on there because that's delivering to backers as an area control, mafia-esque, deluxeified plastic, all get out like an expensive game would be on crowdfunding from I think about a year and a half ago or so is getting delivered. And so that's why that's on the list. And then you have obviously your Brass Birmingham, #1, we're #1. And then you're just your usual culprits and usual people that are on there as well. The only other twist on there is the expansion standalone for Twilight Struggle, and that's called The Conflict in Horn of Africa. You know, it seems to have about an 8.0 rating right now. And again, as someone who's never played Twilight Struggle, maybe eventually someday, shape or form. But is it better? Is it worse? Is it about the same? Should you get this one over the other one? Again, that's a question that I can't bring to you, but I'll bring it to your attention because it's making some waves as well. There you go. News, hotness, everything else in between. All in one, your best source right here, boys, girls, everyone else in between. I try my best. 7K in case you missed it. A couple more days as well. We'll do that. And if you want to go over and check out that video. Thanks, Nemesis Games, by the way, in case you missed that. Spoilers in case you didn't watch it yet. But yeah, that's all I got. I need to come up with a giveaway now for 10K. If you guys will help me get there this year, I would love to do that. So yeah, I'll do a giveaway anyway. But whether or not somebody helps me like this, that was freaking awesome of them, by the way. It's a good night. It's a good day. Stay classy. I got nothing else. Rambling, right? Like, I'm wearing Scooby-Doo tonight, and I'm just pumped up, and I had a halfway decent workout today. It was a chest day. I'm not a big fan of chest. Much prefer arms, shoulders, or upper back. I don't skip leg day, though. I don't skip leg day. As much as I want to skip leg day, I don't skip it. So, there's about 3 of you watching right now at this point. That's all I got. See you around.